Hi there, welcome back. So we're going to work on another set of exercises for our 10-minute moves, 10-15-minute moves today. So for today's little session, you're just going to need a resistance band. So it doesn't matter what resistance it is. I've got a medium band here, you can use whatever you've got lying around. I'm just going to work through 5 exercises. We're going to work the arms, and then we're going to come down to work the core a little bit with a couple of exercises, and then we're going to work glutes and inner thighs with our final exercises. So we're going to start off in a seated position. So taking your band, you're just going to wrap it around the feet and hold on at the end. So we're going to keep a little bend through the knees to start with. So the heels are down on the floor, weighting down through the sit bones, nice equal weight through both sides of your sit bones there, and sitting up nice and tall on the sit bones, lifting up through the top of the head. So we're going to start off by just coming into our roll down exercise, but we're just going to take it halfway back. So sitting up nice and tall, taking a breath in. As you breathe out, just nodding the head, tucking the chin. And you're going to draw that belly button back, and the arms are just going to come back, and you're pulling on the band. And then inhaling to sit up nice and tall. And again, breathing out. Scooping out the belly, that belly button drawing back, rolling off your sit bones. Inhale to sit tall again. Restacking that spine a little bit. So as you exhale, you're just nodding the head, tucking that chin. And we're looking for that C-shaped curve in the spine. Lower vertebrae are coming down towards the mat. Belly button is drawing back. We're really scooping out those abdominal muscles, really scooping it out in the belly as you roll it back off the sit bones. And the band is just here to give you that reassurance that you can take it back off the sit bones. So I did an exercise last week using the overball, the Pilates softball. Same exercise, but we had the ball behind. So again, it just kind of gave that comfort that you could roll back into the ball and then roll back up. Similar with the band here, it's just giving us that reassurance that we can bring ourselves up, so we can really concentrate on drawing that belly button back and engaging through those core muscles. Okay, we're just going to do one more here. So sitting up nice and tall, inhale, breathe out, nod the head, tuck the chin, rolling back off the sit bones, pulling on the band, and you're inhaling to come back up, sitting up tall again. Okay, so then we're going to take the legs long, flexing the feet up, band's still around the feet here. And you might want to loosen the band off a little bit here, because we're going to work into the biceps. So tucking the elbows into the waist, finding that nice tall spine here. So trying to sit right up on top of the sit bones. And we're just going to bring the hands up towards the body and lower it back down. So you will need to think, see, I'm shaking a little here. So if you've got a light resistance band, you might want to start with a light resistance band, or you can just take a bit more slack in your band, reducing some of the resistance. So we're just getting that little bit extra through the band as we just draw the hands in and then lower them back down with the same control, same speed as we pull in and lower back down. Still finding nice length through the spine, lifting up through the top of the head, shoulders down away from the ears so we don't have them up here. Just sliding those shoulders down. Trying to keep the legs on the floor if you can. If not, you can take that little bend up through the knees. So that's just going to release any hamstring tension, but you can still work the same exercise. If your hip flexors are grippy, you can sit up on a block or on a cushion to help with that. And we want to keep the core switched on. So let's think about that belly button drawing away from your t-shirt. Just engaging through those deeper abdominal muscles and using the breath. So just breathing deeply as you're just working through a few sets. Okay, let's just do 2 more. And then we're going to change the hand position. Okay, so this time we're still going to sit up nice and tall with the legs extending out in front and the feet flexed here. And we're just going to take the arms nice and wide. So you've got a bit of a bend through the elbows. And again, you can play around with the resistance of the band. But this time we're just going to take the elbows back. So it's a bit like we're on a rowing machine here. So the elbows drawing back and then forwards. So this time we're working more into the upper arms and the shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling, just trying to get a nice smooth move. Same effort as you pull back and release. And again, you can play around with your resistance band. You can tighten it if you want to work a bit harder. You can slacken it off a little if you've got a particularly heavy resistance band. And again, let's just think about that posture, sitting up nice and tall on those sit bones. Really nice straight spine, lifting up through the top of the head, shoulders down, feet flexing. A little stretch to the back of the hamstrings whilst we're working into the shoulders and the upper arms. Okay, 2 more. Drawing the elbows back and releasing with control. Okay, super job. And then we're going to see if we can bring it down to the floor with some nice, with our roll down exercise. So again, you can have the legs extended like this and the feet flexing up, or if you're not quite there with the hamstrings length, you can take that little bend through the knees here. So we're going to look to roll all the way down. So we're going to start off sitting up nice and tall, taking a breath in. Engage through those abdominals. As you breathe out, nod the head, tuck the chin. And we're going to come into that little half roll back that we did at the beginning. So now you're just starting to roll down, nice and controlled, thinking about bringing yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae. Drawing on the band, that's going to give you that reassurance that you can bring yourself down to the floor. The head's going to touch down. Taking a breath in here. Now we're going to try to bring it back up. So this time, as you breathe out, you lift the head, lift the chest, and you pull on the band. Now if you can only get this far, I want you to just take it this far, take a breath in and roll it back down, and just practice that little move and just see if you can bring yourself up a little bit more each time. So breathing out to pick up the head, lift the chest, and just seeing if you can lift a little bit more. This is a hard core exercise. So we're just going to see what you can do. I know this is a challenging exercise for a lot of people. Now, if you can bring yourself all the way up, you can use the band to pull you up as you roll up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then you're going to restack, sitting nice and tall. So let's just do one more like that, and then we'll bring ourselves down all the way to the floor. So nice and slow and controlled. You're going to roll down, looking to bring down vertebra by vertebra, that belly button drawing down. So we're using the core, head touches down, you're just going to take a breath in here. Breathing out then, pick up the head, lift the chest, and we're going to try and peel away from the floor, drawing on the resistance band, but using the core to bring us up with control, nice and slow. And sitting up nice and straight, again, restacking the spine. Okay, we're going to take one more to just bring ourselves down. And then we're going to work a little bit more core work. So rolling it down nice, slow and controlled. And this time when you bring yourself all the way down, you're going to just take a little slide in the knees. Grab hold of your band, we're going to fold it in half so that we've got the double resistance. And we're going to do something lovely for the head, which you can always use this in any exercise where we're flexing the head up. So if you suffer with a sore neck when we're working these core exercises, you can always do this with your band. So you're just going to fold it in half, and we're going to pop it behind the head and lower the head down. So we're holding on to each end of the band. So just finding your nice natural curves here, feet flat on the floor, little bend through the knees, heels lining up with the sit bones, resting on the back of the pelvis. So ab prep to start. Breathing in to prepare, draw that belly button down, find your zip up, and then lift the chest. You can pull on the hands, and that band is just going to help you to lift the head up. So this is a really nice way to just take those little ab preps without pulling on the neck, without feeling any tension in the neck. Might get a little bit tired on the arms after a few too many. Really drawing that belly button down as you lift the head up. So nice and flat through the abdominals. Don't want to see any doming. Really think about drawing that belly button down. Okay, this next time I'm going to hold up. Breathing out to lift. Hold it here. So the eyes are just looking at the middle of the thigh. From here, just think about drawing that belly button down. We're going to float one leg up to our tabletop position. And then the other leg is going to float up. So we're in our imprinted tabletop here. We're going to take the band away from the head, bring it over the shins, and we're just going to apply a little bit of tension through the band here, and we're just going to hold and breathe. So breathing here. See the shake. So this is a strong core exercise. You should feel those core muscles firing up. Just a light pull down through the hands. One more breath. And then you're going to release, lower the head, lower one foot, lower the second foot back down to the floor. Okay, and then you're just going to unroll that band, threading it underneath the knees here. So it's just underneath the knees. You're going to take the band in each hand here. We're going to come into the 100 exercise. And we're just going to use the band for a little bit of resistance. So think about sliding that bottom rib towards the hip. Belly button drawing down. So feeling the waistband of your trousers lightly pushing into the floor. Float one leg up to tabletop. Knee above the hip. Second leg up. So breath in. You're either going to work with the head down, or if you're working with the head up, on the out breath, you're just going to lift that head up. Reach the hands away. Feel a little tension between the bands, and let's pulse the arms here. Breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5 and out 2, 3, 4, 10. Okay, so watch points here. Let's think about drawing that belly button down, finding a nice flat abdominals here, reaching through the fingertips. So pulsing those arms, just lightly pulling on the band. So we just have a little bit of resistance. Keeping the legs perfectly still, knees floating above the hips. And 2 more breaths here, in for 5 and out for 5. Super job, lower the head down, just releasing the band, 1 foot down, second foot down. Leave the band here because we're going to bring it up to tie it in a little bow. So just bringing the ends up. And you're going to tie a little bow just above the knees. So it's easier to tie it in a bow than in a knot because it's hard to undo the band if you've got a knot. So we just got the band tied there above the knees. And we're going to take it into our shoulder bridge. So still from our neutral curves here with the feet flat on the floor, heels lining up with the sit bones. Back of the pelvis resting on the floor, hands just down either side. Take a breath in to prepare. Breathe out, tilt the pelvis towards the body, and then you're starting to peel away from the floor, vertebra by vertebra, starting to pick those hips up towards the ceiling, and you're just rolling up through the spine, just until about bra strap level, so just to the bottom of the shoulder blades. Hold at the top, take a breath in and out, as you just take the knees out to the side. And again, breathing out, take the knees out, inhaling to bring them back together. 1 more. Breathing in and then breathing out to roll it back down, thinking about placing each vertebra back down onto the floor. Releasing off into your natural curve, so just finding that little gap in the lumbar part of the spine. Let's do that 1 more time. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out to tilt the pelvis. Rolling through, peeling away from the floor, starting to pick those hips up. And just coming up to the bottom of the shoulder blades, hold at the top. Feel those glutes working. Take a breath in here. Breathing out, knees out to the sides. Inhale to bring the knees back together. Exhale, out to the sides. Keep those hips lifted. 1 more. Inhale to bring the knees back together. Exhale as you roll yourself back down, touching one vertebra down after the other. Slowly bring yourself back down onto the mat, coming into Rest on the back of the pelvis there into your neutral position or your natural curves. Okay, let's take it up again. This time we're going to take pulses. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out to tilt the pelvis. Let's roll up, so peeling away from the mat. Hips are lifting, glutes are engaging. Holding up at the top, those hips are going to stay lifted the whole time. Breathing in, as you breathe out, take the knees out to the sides and let's pulse it here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Hips up, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring the knees back together. Breathe it out as you roll back down. And come into rest on the back of the pelvis there. Find that natural little lift in the lower part of the vertebra, and then you can roll to one side to bring yourself up nice and safely. So there's just a few exercises that we can work with the band. Obviously we could work hundreds of exercises with the band, but just wanted to give you a taster of a few different exercises working the arms and the core, and then the glutes there at the end, and the adductors, the inner thighs. So I hope you, and the outer thighs. I hope you enjoyed that. You can take it on to any of the other exercises, and I will see you again soon. Thank you.